The Miami Heat are on fire right now. I know with the fight that just happened, that's all we keep hearing about the Heat. But I think people don't understand just how good they've been. The Miami Heat have been one of the most balanced teams this season. It's incredible how they found ways to compete on both ends of the floor. Their three-point shooting is 8th in the league, which says a lot about their ability to space the floor and knock down shots when it matters. That kind of shooting opens up so many opportunities for the offense and keeps opposing defenses on their toes. Defensively, they're just as solid, sitting at 10th in steals and defensive rating. That's not just a testament to their hustle. It shows how disciplined they are at disrupting passing lanes and forcing turnovers. Steals are one thing, but combining that with a top 10 defensive rating proves their ability to lock teams down when they need to. Their net rating is 11th, which is no small feat. It shows they're outscoring opponents overall, a clear indicator of consistency. And while their offensive rating is 14th, it's worth noting how efficient they've been at moving the ball. They're 12th in assist percentage, highlighting how unselfish they've been. It's a team that plays for each other, and you can see it in the way they share the ball and get everyone involved. Their ability to take care of the ball is another standout. Ranking 13th in assist to turnover ratio is a reflection of their composure. They don't just throw the ball away under pressure. Instead, they make smart decisions that keep the offense flowing. Rebounding on the defensive end has been another strength, as they're 10th in defensive rebound percentage. This stat is crucial because it shows how well they finish defensive possessions by securing the ball and preventing second chance points for the opposition. Their ability to close out plays with rebounds helps control the game's tempo and keeps momentum in their favor. And let's talk about player impact estimate, where they're 12th. This is a stat that really gives you an idea of how much they contribute across the board. It's a metric that combines all aspects of performance, and sitting at 12th is a strong indicator of how impactful they've been as a unit. Even their plus-minus ranking of 10th deserves some love. It's not just about scoring or defense, it's about how the team performs as a whole when they're on the floor. Being in the top 10 for plus-minus shows just how cohesive they are. Whether it's rotations, effort, or just plain chemistry, it's all clicking for them. The balance between offense and defense is what's so striking about this team. They're not just good at one thing. They're above average or better in nearly every significant category. That kind of versatility makes them a nightmare matchup for any team. They can shoot, they can defend, and they can move the ball, all while keeping their turnovers in check. This season has been a masterclass in consistency and adaptability. Every time they step onto the court, they're bringing effort on both ends. They're not just relying on one star or one style of play. They're finding success through teamwork and execution. It's no wonder they've become such a formidable presence in the league. The numbers back it up, and honestly, watching them play has been such a treat. By the way, if you guys enjoy these deep dives, I'll be posting every day during the season. I genuinely appreciate if you could subscribe. Thanks. Anyways, the Heat. For them, I think it's how good individual players have been, and we have to start with Tyler Herro. Tyler Herro has been absolutely incredible this season. Let's start with the basics. He's averaging 24 points per game, which ranks 19th in the league. That's more than some of the biggest names in the NBA right now. His scoring ability has been one of the key reasons Miami has remained competitive, and it's clear he's taken a massive leap in his development. His three-point shooting has been lights out. He's hitting 3.9 three-pointers per game, which is more than Damian Lillard. He's also shooting 41% from deep, a better percentage than Jason Tatum. That combination of volume and efficiency from behind the arc makes him one of the league's most dangerous shooters. He's not just taking shots, he's hitting them at an elite clip. Herro's confidence has been through the roof. Whether it's pulling up for jumpers, attacking the rim, or getting to the free throw line, he looks completely in control. His true shooting percentage is 62.4%, which puts him ahead of 86% of players. That level of scoring efficiency is a game changer, and it shows how much he's refined his offensive game. One of the most impressive parts of Herro's season has been his playmaking. He's averaging 5.2 assists per game, good for 34th in the league, and has an assist percentage of 25. That means a quarter of his teammates made shots while he's on the court are directly because of him. He's generating nearly 13 points per game for his teammates through his passing. That's the kind of all-around impact that separates good players from great ones. Herro's rebounding has also been solid for a guard. He's grabbing 5.7 rebounds per game, which ranks 64th in the league. Defensive rebounding, in particular, has been a strength. His defensive rebound percentage is in the top 10% of players. That ability to secure boards and end possessions is crucial for Miami, especially in tight games. Speaking of tight games, Herro has been clutch. His fourth quarter three-point percentage is 42.6%, putting him among the league's best in crunch time. Players like Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving are the only ones ahead of him in this stat. When the pressure's on, Herro delivers. That kind of poise and reliability is something every team dreams of in a young star. Herro's effective field goal percentage is 59, which is better than 77% of players. Effective field goal percentage factors in the extra value of three-pointers, and it highlights just how deadly he is as a scorer. His points per field goal attempt sit at 1.2, putting him ahead of 81% of players. That kind of efficiency makes him a nightmare for defenses. On the defensive end, Herro's mixed team defense rating is 78%, meaning he's better than 78% of players at preventing opponents from scoring. While he's not a high-volume steals or blocks guy, his contributions to team defense have been solid. He's also pulling down 5.4 defensive rebounds per game, which is critical for helping Miami finish possessions. Herro's growth isn't just about stats. It's about the way he's carrying himself on the court. He's become a leader, someone the team can rely on in big moments. At only 24 years old, he's already showing signs of being the kind of player who can be a cornerstone for years to come. His confidence, efficiency, and versatility have all reached new heights this season, and it's been so much fun to watch. What's even more exciting is how Herro stacks up against the league's best. He's fourth in the league in three-pointers made per game, trailing only LaMelo Ball, Steph Curry, and Anthony Edwards. That's elite company. And it's not just about the volume, he's doing it with incredible efficiency, which makes his scoring even more valuable. Herro's ability to score in different ways has been a huge asset for Miami. He's making 4.4 two-pointers per game and 3.9 three-pointers per game on 17.5 attempts. His points per scoring attempt sit at 1.2, which is elite territory. Whether it's mid-range jumpers, catch-and-shoot threes, or attacking the basket, he's finding ways to put the ball in the hoop. One area where Herro has really shined is his ability to keep Miami afloat. Even when the team's offense isn't clicking, Herro has been a reliable source of scoring and playmaking. His performance this season has been a big reason why Miami has stayed competitive, and his growth has been a joy to see. In terms of efficiency metrics, Herro is among the best. His true shooting percentage of 62.4 and effective field goal percentage of 59 put him in the upper echelon of the league. These numbers show how well he's maximizing his scoring opportunities, making him one of the most effective offensive players this season. Herro's age, 24 season, feels like a breakout in every sense of the word. He's not just putting up numbers, he's doing it efficiently and consistently. His ability to impact the game as a scorer, playmaker, and even as a rebounder has made him one of the most complete guards in the league. This season has been a statement from Tyler Herro. He's proving that he's not just a good player, but one of the best young stars in the league. Watching him take this leap has been such a thrill, and it's clear he's only scratching the surface of what he's capable of. Miami has a special player on their hands, and it's going to be exciting to see what he does next. But then we need to talk about Bam. Bam has been phenomenal this season, and it's been amazing to see his impact on the court. He's averaging 16.1 points per game, which ranks 65th in the league. While scoring might not be the flashiest part of his game, it's so much more than just the points. His ability to contribute in multiple areas makes him one of the most versatile big men in the NBA. Rebounding has been a major strength for Bam this year. He's pulling down 9.9 rebounds per game, ranking 15th overall. His defensive rebound percentage sits at 22.1%, which puts him ahead of 79% of players. That means he's grabbing more than 1 in 5 available defensive rebounds while he's on the floor. His offensive rebounding percentage is 6.79, which is also in the top tier for big men, showing his ability to create second chance opportunities. What really sets Bam apart is how skilled he is as a passer for his position. Averaging 4.7 assists per game, he's tied for 47th in the league, which is outstanding for a center. His assist rate of 21.37% ranks higher than 88% of players. He's generating 12 points per game for his teammates through his assists, proving he's not just a scorer, but a true playmaker. It's rare to see a big man with this kind of vision and unselfishness. Bam's ball handling ability is another underrated aspect of his game. He ranks in the top 9% of players for ball handling metrics, which is wild for someone his size. His turnover percentage on drives is just 2%, the 5th lowest in the league. That's an incredible stat because it shows how secure he is with the ball, even when attacking the basket. He's controlling the game like a guard, but doing it from the center position. Defensively, Bam is in a league of his own. His mixed team defense metric ranks him in the top 9% of players. He's preventing scoring at both the individual and team levels, which makes him one of the most impactful defenders in the NBA. He's averaging 1.4 steals and 0.9 blocks per game, and his team defensive efficiency rating is 111.5. His ability to guard multiple positions and anchor the defense is unmatched. In isolation situations, Bam is one of the most effective big men in the league. He's tied for 4th among bigs in points per possession on isolations, averaging 0.9. That puts him in the same conversation as players like Nicola Jovic and Anthony Davis. It's a testament to how versatile he is offensively, whether he's creating for himself or setting up his teammates. Bam's rebounding numbers continue to impress. He's averaging 7.5 defensive rebounds per game and 2.4 offensive rebounds. That balance makes him such a reliable presence on the glass, whether it's securing a stop or keeping a possession alive. His ability to control the boards is a huge reason why Miami has been able to stay competitive. His true value lies in how well-rounded his game is. Bam doesn't just excel in one area, he's good at nearly everything. His effective field goal percentage and true shooting percentage might not lead the league, but his ability to impact the game in so many ways makes him one of the most complete players out there. What's been especially exciting is how much Bam has grown as a leader. His ability to adapt to the needs of the team and step up in big moments is invaluable. Whether it's his scoring, passing, rebounding, or defense, he's doing whatever it takes to help Miami succeed. Bam's defensive rebounding percentage of 22.1 and offensive rebounding percentage of 6.79 are just more examples of his consistency. He's always in the right place at the right time, making sure his team gets as many opportunities as possible. It's that kind of reliability that makes him such an integral part of Miami's success. His assist numbers are even more impressive when you consider how often he's handling the ball. Bam's assist to turnover ratio shows just how efficient he is with his decision making. He's creating offense without making costly mistakes. And that's not something you can say about most big men. Bam's defensive impact goes beyond the box score. His ability to switch onto smaller players and still hold his ground is incredible. He's not just a rim protector, he's a do-it-all defender who can guard every position on the floor. That kind of versatility is so valuable in today's NBA, and it's a big reason why he's one of the best defensive players in the league. The consistency in Bam's game is what stands out the most. Night after night, he's contributing in all the ways that matter. Whether it's rebounding, passing, scoring, or defending, he's doing it all at a high level. Watching him grow into this kind of player has been so rewarding, and it feels like he's only scratching the surface of what he can do. What's truly special about Bam is how much he impacts winning. His stats are great, but it's the way he helps his team in every facet of the game that really makes him stand out. He's not just putting up numbers, he's making winning plays, and that's what separates good players from great ones. Bam is the kind of player every team dreams of having. His ability to contribute on both ends of the floor, make his teammates better, and take over when needed makes him one of the most valuable players in the league. This season has been a showcase of just how special he is, and it's been an absolute blast to watch. But then we can talk about Jimmy Butler. Jimmy Butler's season has been a roller coaster, and it's clear there's some turbulence in Miami. He's averaging 18.5 points per game, which is solid, but it's a noticeable dip compared to what's expected from a player of his caliber. It's not just about the numbers. The inconsistency in his performance has been a real challenge for Miami, especially as they rely on him to be a cornerstone of the team. His true shooting percentage is 63.6, ranking higher than 83% of players, which shows his scoring efficiency when he's on. However, his fourth quarter free throw percentage is just 61.3, placing him among the worst in the league in crunch time. That's not what you'd expect from a player known for his ability to deliver under pressure. These missed opportunities in critical moments highlight some of the struggles he's faced this season. On the flip side, his efficiency in transition is elite. He's second in the league in points per possession in transition, averaging 1.62. That's better than Kevin Durant. When he's attacking the basket in the open floor, he's nearly unstoppable. It's a reminder of just how dominant he can be when everything is clicking. But outside of those moments, the consistency just hasn't been there. Jimmy's assist rate of 24.19% is respectable, placing him ahead of 85% of players. He's generating nearly 13 points per game for his teammates through assists. That playmaking ability has been a bright spot, showing he's still finding ways to impact games beyond scoring. However, his overall influence on games has been up and down, reflected in his mixed team defense ranking of 67%. His defensive presence hasn't been as strong as in past seasons, which has been noticeable in Miami's overall performance. Turnovers haven't been an issue for Jimmy, as his turnover percentage is only 6.3, ranking better than 67% of players. He's doing a great job taking care of the ball, but the problem lies in how often he's able to capitalize on his possessions. His offensive rating of 119.5 is impressive, but his defensive rating of 113.5 shows room for improvement. The net rating of +6 is solid, but not enough to make up for the inconsistencies. It's also worth noting that Butler's rebounding has been underwhelming. He's averaging 5.8 rebounds per game, which is decent but not game-changing for a player of his size and role. His defensive rebounding numbers, in particular, have been lower than expected, with only 3.2 defensive boards per game. That's an area where Miami could really use more from him, especially in key moments. What really raises eyebrows is the ongoing trade speculation surrounding Jimmy. Reports suggest he prefers to be traded before the deadline, and that's not something you hear every day from a team's franchise player. If he does end up leaving, it'll mark the end of an era in Miami, and it's hard not to wonder how much the trade rumors are affecting his play. It's tough to stay fully locked in when your future with the team feels uncertain. Jimmy's plus-minus numbers also paint an interesting picture. He's had a positive plus-minus in 60% of his games, which is good, but not elite. The team's on-off difference with him on the court versus off is plus 4.6, showing his value, but it's not the overwhelming impact you'd expect from a star player. That balance between being effective yet inconsistent has been the theme of his season. His mixed teamwork rating is high, ranking ahead of 83% of players, but again, it's not translating into consistent dominance. When Jimmy is on, he's phenomenal. He creates positive margins for the team and brings a level of competitiveness few can match. But when he's not, the drop-off is noticeable. And that's been a problem for Miami as they try to find stability this season. It's clear that Butler's individual talent is still there. His ability to score efficiently, make plays for his teammates, and thrive in transition are all elite traits. But the inconsistency and the lack of impact in some critical areas, like fourth-quarter free throws and rebounding, have been hard to ignore. Add in the trade rumors, and it's been a challenging season for both Butler and the Heat. If Jimmy does get traded, it'll be interesting to see how a fresh start could reignite his game. Sometimes, a change of scenery is exactly what a player needs to get back to their best. For now, though, his season in Miami has been a mix of brilliance and frustration. It's a story that's still unfolding, but one thing's for sure. Jimmy Butler remains one of the most intriguing players in the league. But then I want to talk about Nicola Jovic. Nicola Jovic has quietly been one of the most intriguing players this season. At just 8.6 points per game, his scoring might not jump off the page, but his impact goes far beyond the raw numbers. His efficiency is what really stands out. With a true shooting percentage of 59.5, he's scoring at a level better than 68% of players in the league. That's not just solid, it's efficient and effective for someone still finding their rhythm in the NBA. Jovic is making the most of his opportunities. His points per scoring attempt are 1.2, showing that when he gets the ball, he's making things happen. With 6.2 field goal attempts and 2.3 free throw attempts per game, he's doing a great job capitalizing on limited chances. This kind of efficiency is exactly what teams look for in a developing player. Rebounding has been another area where Jovic has contributed. He's pulling down 3.6 rebounds per game, and his defensive rebound percentage is 15.17, putting him above 66% of players. While these aren't dominant numbers, they're a sign that he's consistently putting himself in the right spots and contributing on the glass. For a young player, that awareness is invaluable. Defensively, Jovic is showing flashes of what he can become. His mixed team defense rating is better than 78% of players, and his team defensive efficiency sits at 108.9. He's averaging 0.9 steals and grabbing 3.1 defensive rebounds per game. These stats highlight his potential as a team defender who can step in and make stops when needed. His offensive rating of 112.1 and defensive rating of 108.9 give him a net rating of plus 3.2. That's a solid contribution. especially considering his role off the bench. It shows that when Jovic is on the floor, good things are happening. Whether it's creating offense or locking down defensively, he's finding ways to add value. What really stands out about Jovic is his poise. His turnover percentage is just 6.97, putting him ahead of 78% of players. That means he's rarely making mistakes. Even as a young player, he's averaging 0.7 turnovers per game on 7.2 scoring attempts, which is incredibly low. This kind of ball security is rare and shows how mature his game already is. Jovic's ability to impact the game without dominating the ball is impressive. He's not putting up flashy numbers, but his presence on the court creates a positive margin for Miami. His on-off difference is plus 2.7, and 47.6% of his games have a positive plus-minus. Those numbers might seem small, but they're significant for a player still carving out a consistent role. His mixed teamwork ranking is another highlight, placing him above 69% of players. This metric captures how much his presence positively influences the team, and it's clear that he's making an impact. Whether it's setting screens, spacing the floor, or making the right pass, Jovic is showing that he's a team-first player who's willing to do the little things that lead to wins. One of the most exciting parts of Jovic's game is his ability to develop into a more complete player. His defensive rebounding and team defense metrics suggest he has the potential to become a reliable presence on that end of the floor. Offensively, his efficiency and low turnover rate are a strong foundation to build on. He's already making smart decisions and taking high-quality shots, which is exactly what you want from a young player. Jovic's growth this season has been exciting to watch. He's proving that he can be a reliable contributor in a variety of ways, whether it's scoring efficiently, playing solid defense, or simply making the right plays. His season might not have the gaudy stats of a superstar, but his impact is undeniable. As he continues to develop, it's going to be fascinating to see just how good he can become. This season has been a major step forward for Nicola Jovic. He's showing that he belongs in the NBA and that he has the tools to be a significant part of Miami's future. His mix of efficiency, poise, and defensive potential makes him one of the most promising young players on the roster. Watching him develop has been a lot of fun, and it's clear that his best basketball is still ahead of him. But of course, we have to talk about Terry Rozier. Terry Rozier has been an incredibly consistent performer this season, and it's been great to see him making an impact in so many ways. He's averaging 12 points per game, which ranks 102nd in the league. While that might not scream superstar numbers, his contributions are spread across the board, making him a vital piece for his team. One of Rozier's standout strengths this season has been his shooting efficiency in high-pressure moments. In the fourth quarter, he's hitting an impressive 44.2% from three-point range, placing him 6th among the league's best. That puts him in the same category as players like Klay Thompson and Kyrie Irving, which is no small feat. When the game is on the line, Rozier is someone who steps up and delivers. Rozier's ball handling skills are another highlight of his game. He's ranked above 74% of players in this area, which is reflected in his ability to control the offense and minimize mistakes. His assist numbers are solid at 2.7 per game, and his turnover rate is only 1.5 per game. That's a ratio that many players would envy, showing just how efficient he is with the ball in his hands. Defensively, Rozier has been making subtle but meaningful contributions. His mixed team defense rating ranks better than 63% of players, and his defensive rebounding numbers are solid at 3.3 per game. While he's not a lockdown defender, he's doing his part to prevent opponents from scoring and helping his team finish defensive possession. His team defensive efficiency is 113, which indicates he's holding his own on that end of the floor. Rozier's offensive rating of 112.9 and defensive rating of 113 result in a near neutral net rating of minus 0.1. While it's not flashy, it shows that he's consistently contributing on both ends of the court. His usage rate of 20.1% also highlights how much his team relies on him to generate offense. He's playing an integral role, taking 10.8 field goal attempts, 2 free throw attempts, and contributing 2.7 assists per game. Rozier's ability to create for himself and others has been a key part of his season. His assist numbers might not lead the league, but the fact that he's generating scoring opportunities while keeping his turnover percentage low speaks volumes about his basketball IQ. He's making smart decisions and ensuring that every possession counts. One of the more underrated aspects of Rozier's game this season has been his rebounding. With 4 rebounds per game, he's ranked 124th in the league. While it's not a headline-grabbing stat, his ability to contribute on the glass adds another layer to his versatility. It's not just about grabbing boards, it's about his awareness and effort to help his team in any way he can. Rozier's mixed teamwork ranking is above 56% of players, reflecting how his presence on the court influences his team's overall performance. His games with a positive plus-minus sit at 51.9%, showing he's often on the floor when his team is in control. While his on-off rating is minus 1.7, it's worth noting that his contributions go beyond the numbers. Especially in clutch situations, his ability to balance scoring, playmaking, and defense makes him an invaluable asset. Rozier isn't a player who dominates in one area. Instead, he's a jack of all trades who consistently finds ways to contribute. His usage rate of 20.1% highlights his role in the offense, but it's his efficiency that really makes him stand out. With 10.8 field goal attempts, 2 free throw attempts, and 1.5 turnovers per game, he's making the most of every opportunity. Rozier's season has been defined by his consistency and ability to perform in key moments. His shooting, ball handling, and defensive efforts combine to make him a well-rounded player who's crucial to his team's success. Watching him step up when it matters most has been exciting, and it's clear that his impact goes far beyond the box score. This season has been a testament to Rozier's growth and his ability to adapt to whatever his team needs from him. It's been a joy to see him thrive. But then I want to talk about Haywood Highsmith. Haywood Highsmith has been one of the most efficient players this season, and it's been so exciting to see him carve out a meaningful role. His scoring might not blow anyone away at 7.1 points per game, but the way he's doing it is what makes him stand out. He's maximizing every single possession, and that kind of impact can't be overstated. Let's talk efficiency, because that's where Highsmith really shines. His effective field goal percentage is a phenomenal 62.3, putting him ahead of 87% of players. This stat adjusts for the added value of three-pointers, and Highsmith has clearly mastered the art of making the most of his shots. He's averaging 1.2 points per field goal attempt, which is just incredible for someone who isn't taking a high volume of shots. With 1.32 pointers and 1.4 three-pointers made per game on just 5.4 attempts, he's showing exactly how to be a sniper with limited opportunities. His true shooting percentage is even more impressive at 63.3. This stat accounts for field goals, three-pointers, and free throws, and it shows just how efficient he's been across the board. He's putting up 1.3 points per scoring attempt, which ranks him ahead of 84% of players. That's not just good, that's elite efficiency for his role. Defensively, Highsmith has been a rock. His mixed team defense rating is better than 73% of players, showing how much he's contributing to stopping opponents. He's averaging 1 steal and 0.6 blocks per game, and his team defensive efficiency is 110.9. That's not just solid, it's a clear indication that he's playing his part in the locking down opponents and helping his team on that end of the floor. Rebounding has been another area where Highsmith has quietly made an impact. He's pulling down 3.3 rebounds per game, including 2.4 defensive boards. While these numbers might not jump off the page, his rebounding efforts are critical for his team. He's consistently in the right spots, finishing plays on defense, and even grabbing some crucial boards on offense to keep possessions alive. What's really exciting about Highsmith is his ability to contribute without dominating the ball. His shot attempts are low, but his efficiency ensures he's always a positive presence on the floor. He's the kind of player who makes the most out of every opportunity, and that's such a valuable trait for any team. Highsmith's scoring efficiency isn't just about the numbers, it's about how it translates to his team's success. His ability to convert at such a high rate means his teammates can rely on him to take smart shots and finish plays. That kind of trust is huge, especially for a player in a complementary role. On the defensive end, Highsmith's awareness and effort are obvious. He might not be a traditional rim protector, but his 1 steal and 0.6 blocks per game show that he's active and engaged. His team defensive efficiency rating highlights just how much he's doing to disrupt opponents and help his team maintain a strong defensive presence. Highsmith's overall impact can also be seen in his scoring breakdown. With 1.32 pointers and 1.4 three-pointers made per game, he's showing versatility in how he scores. He's not just a one-dimensional shooter, he's finding ways to contribute from different areas on the floor, and that makes him even harder to defend. This season has been a breakout for Highsmith in terms of showing what he can do when given the chance. His ability to blend scoring efficiency, defensive impact, and rebounding makes him a well-rounded player who's easy to root for. It's been so much fun to watch him step up and make a name for himself. Highsmith's numbers might not be the flashiest, but his contributions are undeniable. His efficiency and defensive presence make him an incredibly valuable piece, and he's proving that he belongs in the NBA. Watching his growth this season has been a treat, and it feels like he's only just getting started. His blend of effort, efficiency, and impact has been nothing short of inspiring. But one player I really like that no one talks about, Alec Burks. Alec Burks has been one of the most underappreciated players this season, quietly making an enormous impact on his team. While his numbers might not jump off the page, the way he's playing is nothing short of remarkable. He's averaging 6.6 points per game, but his efficiency is what truly sets him apart. His effective field goal percentage is a staggering 61.6, which puts him ahead of 86% of players in the league. That stat alone highlights how good he's been at converting his opportunities, whether it's from two-point range or behind the arc. Speaking of efficiency, his true shooting percentage is an even more impressive 63.9. This stat accounts for field goals, three-pointers, and free throws, and it shows just how consistent he's been as a scorer. Every time Burks gets a scoring opportunity, he makes the most of it, averaging 1.3 points per scoring attempt. For someone coming off the bench, that level of reliability is exactly what any coach would want. One of the most fascinating aspects of Burks' game is his ability to contribute on both ends of the floor. Offensively, his offensive rating is an excellent 113.8. This reflects his efficient scoring, smart shot selection, and ability to contribute without making mistakes. On the other side of the ball, his defensive rating is an elite 99.8, making him one of the few players who excel both offensively and defensively. This gives him a net rating of plus 14, which is phenomenal. It's clear that when Burks is on the court, his team is better on both ends. Another way Burks shines is in how well he takes care of the ball. He ranks in the top 92% of players in turnover percentage with an incredibly low 4.72%. That means he almost never wastes possessions, which is a rarity in today's fast-paced NBA. With just 0.3 turnovers per game on 5.2 scoring attempts, Burks is one of the most secure players with the ball. His ability to minimize mistakes is a huge reason why his team can rely on him in critical moments. Burks has also been a stabilizing force for his team. He's played in games with a positive plus-minus 75% of the time, which shows just how much his presence lifts the team. Additionally, his on-off numbers are impressive, with the team being plus 6.1 when he's on the floor compared to when he's off. Those numbers highlight how much of a difference maker he is, even if his role doesn't always grab headlines. Defensively, Burks is making a strong impact as well. His mixed team defense ranking is better than 76% of players, and his team defensive efficiency of 99.8 reflects just how well he's locking things down. He's averaging 0.7 steals and 0.3 blocks per game, which may not sound flashy, but those numbers show he's consistently disrupting opponents. His defensive rebounding at 1.7 per game may not lead the team, but it's another area where he contributes by finishing plays and securing possessions. What stands out most about Burks is his incredible shooting ability. He's averaging 0.6 two-pointers and 1.5 three-pointers per game on just 4.6 attempts. His points per field goal attempt sit at 1.2, which is elite. That kind of efficiency, especially from a player in a bench role, makes him one of the most reliable shooters in the league. Whether it's spotting up for threes or taking smart shots inside the arc, Burks has been a model of consistency. Burks' scoring is important, but his ability to step up when needed is just as valuable. Miami is undefeated in games where he plays 20 or more minutes, going 5-0. That speaks volumes about his ability to influence the game when given extended time on the court. He's a player who thrives when trusted with more responsibility, and it's been exciting to see him deliver in those moments. Another area where Burks excels is his adaptability. He's not just a scorer, he's a player who does the little things that make a big difference. His basketball IQ is evident in the way he moves the ball, makes the right decisions, and elevates his teammates. He knows his role and embraces it fully, which is why he's been such an important part of the team's success this season. Burks' ability to balance scoring, defense, and ball security is what makes him so valuable. His stats may not lead the league, but his overall impact is undeniable. He's the type of player who might not always get the spotlight, but his contributions are felt in every aspect of the game. Watching him play this season has been a joy because he embodies what it means to be a team player. What's particularly impressive about Burks is his ability to thrive in limited opportunities. With just 4.6 field goal attempts per game, he's not getting a ton of shots, but he's making them count. His scoring efficiency, combined with his low turnover rate, makes him one of the most effective players on the roster. He's proving that you don't need a high usage rate to have a big impact. Burks has been described as a pro's pro, and it's easy to see why. He approaches the game with professionalism, consistency, and a focus on doing whatever it takes to help his team win. His numbers this season are a testament to his work ethic and understanding of the game. Whether it's hitting a clutch shot, grabbing a key rebound, or playing solid defense, Burks has been a steady presence all year. His contributions have been particularly valuable for a team that relies on its depth. Burks has shown that he can step up whenever his name is called, and his ability to impact the game in so many ways has been crucial. He's a player who makes everyone around him better, and that's not something you can measure with stats alone. Alec Burks has been a revelation this season. His efficiency, reliability, and ability to perform in critical moments have made him an invaluable part of his team. He might not always get the recognition he deserves, but his impact is felt every time he steps on the court. Watching him play has been an absolute treat, and it's clear that he's one of the most underrated players in the league right now. This season has been a showcase of everything that makes Burks such a special player, and it's been incredible to see him thrive in his role. Overall, though, the Miami Heat have been nothing short of impressive this season, showcasing a combination of efficiency, depth, and defensive intensity that keeps them in the conversation as one of the league's most balanced teams. Their three-point shooting has been a consistent weapon, ranking among the top in the league, and their defensive metrics highlight their ability to lock teams down when it matters most. Players across the roster are stepping up, contributing in unique ways that make this team a nightmare to compete against. From Tyler Herro's leap in scoring efficiency and playmaking to Bam's dominance as a two-way force, the Heat have reliable stars anchoring both ends of the floor. Herro's three-point shooting and Bam's defensive versatility set the tone, but the supporting cast has been just as critical. Jimmy Butler, even with an up-and-down season, remains a significant presence, and rumors of a potential trade have only added intrigue to his role. Then there's Nicola Jovic, showing flashes of brilliance as a developing talent, and Haywood Highsmith, whose quiet efficiency and defensive contributions have proven invaluable in key moments. Terry Rozier has brought reliability to critical moments, while Alec Burks has been a spark off the bench, consistently impacting games with his elite efficiency and defensive acumen. These players embody what makes Miami special, a team-first mentality where every individual knows their role and executes it to perfection. They've proven that success isn't always about one star, but about the collective effort of an entire roster pulling together. Miami's ability to combine strong offensive metrics with disciplined defense makes them a well-rounded and dangerous team. They're not just putting up numbers, they're executing a system that maximizes each player's strengths while minimizing mistakes. Whether it's controlling the glass, securing the ball, or knocking down clutch shots, they found ways to win and make their presence felt. This season, the Heat are showing everyone what it takes to be a contender, a blend of talent, effort, and a relentless drive to succeed. They've been a joy to watch and a team that demands attention.